Hello everyone, my name is DimitriusMac and welcome back to another episode of Real Talk. For those of you who are tuning into this series for the very first time, let me take a quick second to tell you what this series is all about. This is my most serious series on this channel. That normally I'm goofy and silly and acting and doing comedy skits and stuff like that. But this is the one series on my channel where I sit down, I talk to things about YouTube community, about the gaming community, things going on in my life, just in general, in a more serious tone, more serious manner, more deeper thoughts are usually involved in this series. And today is no exclusion to that. Today's topics are going to be a few different things. The first thing that I want to get into is the topic of what my vacations this year. For those of you who have been around the channel for a while, you'll know that I've gone on various vacations throughout the year, which I've shared with you, what they have taught me. And then second, what that means to me, what they taught to me, what it means. Kind of getting that all tongue twisted up, but you'll see in a second. And then the importance of why that is important. And it's kind of all coming out very confusing right now, folks, but it'll come out more clear, I promise you, as the video progresses. So I guess I will start off with what I wanted to really talk about, and that is what my vacations taught me this year. And no, this is not going to be some narcissistic stuff just talking about how awesome it is I get to go on vacations. I mean, that's partially true that I do feel really, really fortunate to experience the things that I've experienced this year. I do want to talk about the fact that this is the most I've ever traveled in my entire life, and it has really opened my eyes to something. It's opened my eyes to that fact that I want to expand my world. I want to expand my bubble. I feel like everybody in the world lives in a certain type of a bubble. And the smaller your bubble is, I feel like the smaller your world is. Like if you never travel, or if you never leave town, or if you never do anything, if you stay within your same community your entire life, your bubble obviously is going to be very small. Now, there are some people out there who do prefer such things like that. However, for me, I have learned about myself is I don't want that. I don't want my bubble to be small. I want my bubble to be grand. I want to explore not only this country, but the world. And I've got to do that this year. I've got to do things that in the past I have taken for granted. As a kid, I have taken for granted. As a video game enthusiast, I have made decisions not to go somewhere because I wanted to play video games. I've made decisions to sit out of events that would later on become iconic because I wanted to play video games. And that's just how I was as a kid. To give you guys an example, the 2000 dunk contest, the NBA dunk contest, was out here in Oakland in 2000, and I was about 6 or 7 at the time. And, my dad had tickets to go, pretty good seatings, but I didn't want to go. I think at that time I wanted to stay home and play games. As much as a basketball enthusiast I was too enveloped into a game that I can't even remember now, that I missed probably one of the most iconic dunk contests in NBA history. All because, at that time, my bubble was small. And I didn't realize this, of course, because I did get to travel. As a kid, I was very fortunate. I got to go to places like Atlanta, and I got to go to places like Hawaii, even back then, and I got to go to places like New York. But I didn't realize how fortunate I was. As a kid, you never really think about, like there's other people across this world that are never going to be able to do something like this. And it's because you don't really realize that. But traveling as much as I have done this year, and I've gotten to go to places like E3, which was an eye-opening experience in itself. I've got to go to Miami for the first time and explore that area. And it's I got to tell you, it's to California, it's almost like a completely different country. There's so many things that are different down there. All the way down from the highways to the way people talk, to the way people dress, to just the lifestyle out there. It's just so different. And I've got to even go places as close to like Carmel. which is only about a 2.5 hour drive from where I stay, and also going down most recently to Hawaii. I've been there a bunch of times, but I feel like this time experiencing it, as an adult, it really opened my eyes to some things that I want this to be part of my life. I don't want this to be remembered as a year. I don't want it to be remembered as just as something as this was an awesome year. I want to do this going forward. And obviously, a lot of people exposed to this type of thing, they become addicted to it. Like I think I have, I want to travel more. I want my life to be able to travel and to be able to see not only this great country that I live in, but the beautiful world that surrounds it. As I've stated, I've given up multiple opportunities to visit places and even other countries when I was younger. And, I just think back at that time because my bubble in my mind was so small that I never realized what I was missing out on. And all I can think back then is just, man, what a fool I was. Even though I was just a teenager, it's still, and teenagers make stupid mistakes, we all do. But just to think that I missed out on a lot of things, exploring a lot of beautiful places when I could have gone, it just makes me think, man, what a fool I was. If you have the means to travel, I think you should do it for the people who can't do it. And I'm going to talk about what that means. Because if you have the means to go and you want to go and you have the opportunity to go and share your experience, on a platform like YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, I think it's wonderful to do so. There's a lot of misconceptions about vlogs out there because they have evolved into such, how do I put this? They evolve into such, nonsense, sometimes just pure stupidity. Now, I'm not going to go mentioning any specific videos or YouTubers out there, but there's plenty of them out there. And people have developed a lot of misconceptions about what all of that means and about what a vlog is, or what really a purpose should be of a vlog or sharing your experience on social media. And I think it's this. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't agree with vlogs anymore. They just think that, hey, look at this guy. He's showing that he went off to Paris and, he thinks he's better than everybody else. Look at him showing how cool it is. He gets to do this. But I think you're thinking of that in a different way. I think if you have that mentality towards it, you're not seeing the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is just because you have that view of it doesn't mean somebody else watching it does. There are people in this world that are living in far, far, far worse scenarios than you or I are. And if they have the chance to watch something that is inspiring as exploring a beautiful place like Hawaii or Japan or the Philippines or wherever, it's going to mean much more to them than to you or I. And I mean you or I in the terms of someone who's living a decent life, someone who has the opportunities to travel. But if you try and put your mindset in the mind of somebody who is not fortunate enough to have that opportunity, and there's some cases out there never will have that opportunity to. So the next best thing is watching it through other people's eyes. And some people may not realize how important that is because, like I just said, they have the means to do so, or they have the opportunity to do so, or they've done it in the past, and they're like, oh, it's not a big idea. I don't get why people like this. But just because it doesn't mean it's just some simple thing, some simple video of Hawaii or wherever, doesn't mean a lot to that person. It can mean the world to somebody else. To somebody else who's always wanted to see that, and they know in their hearts that they're never going to see it with their own eyes. Them getting to see it through a YouTube video or a Facebook video or an Instagram video, even if it's just a short, minute video of a place that they've always dreamed of, or a place that just seems inspiring to them. and that they have to watch to get through the day, because their living scenarios are just an absolute hell you can't imagine. And if that video brings them joy, if it brings them any sort of comfort, then I think that's the point, isn't it? I think that's the point of being able to make vlogs or being able to share your experience with the world. I don't think it's self-centered at all if you have a perspective of that. You have to think outside of your mentality, because your mentality is not the only mentality, especially when going into watching a video such as a vlog, exploring place, a vacation vlog or something like that. You have to think of it from the perspective of somebody who will never see this place, who will never experience the things that the person in this video is sharing with, or that you may have seen and you may just blow off as, yeah, it's a cool vacation, but you know, this guy making it seem, or this guy or girl is making it seem like such a big thing. Because in reality, and if you take it into context of certain people out there in the world, it is. It is. It's very important. And so I think if you have the means, and that's why I do these vacation vlogs, even if not a lot of people watch them, you know, I think if just one person can watch a vlog like mine, or anybody else out there who's doing these type of things, and it brings them comfort that they got to see that, and that, you know, after a long day of hell, however hard their life may be, and they get to come home and watch a YouTube video of a YouTuber going someplace special and sharing it with the world, or sharing it with their community on their YouTube channel, and that thing brings them joy, I think that's what makes it all worth it. And I think if you have the means to do so, you know, you have your smartphone when you travel, if you have the means to do so, think of it as a different perspective of not how cool it is for me, but somebody who may be watching who will never get to experience that, and how grateful they are to you that you were willing to share your experience with them, with someone who is never going to have that experience. That is it, folks. Let me know what you think in the comment section below about all of this, because there is a lot to talk about, I think. So if you have any thoughts or anything you want to share, be sure to share it in the comment section. I do want to update you guys on the vacation vlog. It was supposed to be uploaded this past week. However, or should I say past weekend. However, there's a lot. This is going to be the vacation vlog that Miami was supposed to originally be, but I lost a lot of footage. Didn't lose any footage this time, so I have a lot to work on, but it should be up this upcoming Saturday, folks. So stay tuned for that, and hope you guys enjoy, because it certainly is a lot. So I'll leave you off with that, folks. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch one of my videos. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button, and if you're new here and you think I deserve a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And with that being said, folks, I will see you all in the next video. Until then, I'm DimitriusMac, and I'm out. Peace. Jack it up.